Hi guys, welcome back to the podcast To the Far Side of the Moon. We're going over the 10th episode of Raised by Wolves, the final episode. I do suggest you watch the episode so you can kind of relate to our reactions. And keep an eye out for the bonus episode that will be posted on the same day. And let's get right into it.
All right. I do want to reiterate that you should definitely watch the show. This is the final episode, and we are covering everything right here. So, I really wouldn't want to spoil it for anyone. I want everyone to have genuine reactions to the stuff that's going down in this episode. Final episode. Raised by Wolves. HBO Max.
Not so much where we like to be. Guys, also please keep in mind that we're just doing a recap of the episode. We're not going to talk about our theories and how some of our theories were shut down, because obviously if you're seeing the whole series and you're in this 10th episode, you know some of our theories were. Keep an eye out for, like Lety said, our bonus episode. That's when we're going to go into our personal ideas, what we had, and our personal thoughts about it. Again, a recap, obviously you've heard us before. We'll talk about the episode and what we think. Our bonus will be a little bit more detailed on that.
Yeah, we'll wrap up the show.
Definitely.
Yeah, and we'll talk about, like Albert said, we'll talk about our theories and how they were shut down, how we feel about our theories being shut down, and stuff like that.
And new theories that we're making up for the second season.
Yeah.
And initial theories were shut down when maybe they shouldn't have been. Carlos, episode
We'll talk
1.
about that.
We'll talk about it in the bonus episode, so watch out for
We'll
that.
get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
I know you want to call me out, Albert, but we'll get there. All right.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, let's get right into it. Of course, we've got the intro playing, the beautiful intro.
Which, by the way, we didn't really know it was actually saying anything, especially in English.
Oh,
until
yeah.
we had subtitles. Until
Yeah,
we put
so-
subtitles.
I'm pretty sure the first time I watched it, I always had subtitles on. I always put subtitles on. And they didn't have subtitles for the intro. Then, I don't know, we were watching it together and I noticed that there was subtitles, so
Yeah.
at some point they added them.
Okay.
But here we start off, we get Marcus / Caleb, delirious. I'm not sure if he's hallucinating or not. We get a fuzzy kind of camera filter over it. But we remember we left him off. He had been forced to swallow the necromancer's eyes. And the reaction to this, I guess, is this delirious state that he's in. And we see him, he's got bulging veins in his face and he's crawling. He doesn't look like he can stand up. But he's still shouting, or he's still talking to Soul. He's still trying to say, Soul, I'm here for you. Show me the way. Still hasn't given up on his new god, despite everything that he's been through. You guys have anything to say? Anything to add?
I just want to know the effect that the eyes have. Like, why is Mother powerful with the eyes, and why are the eyes causing this these visions that he's having?
Yeah.
So I just hope that they go into more detail.
Yeah, because at this point we already know that there's some sort of biological element to these androids, right?
Yeah.
It's because Mother has been able to use their blood, just like anything. She used Artho's blood to feed her child, who's supposedly half organic.
I mean, from what we're looking at here, I think that the eyes might be, or what the androids are made of, obviously poisonous to a human, right? Because, I mean, all his veins are popping out after that happened.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's just him, like, being out there exposed to the elements. I think it's also his body, like, trying to fight whatever those eyeballs were made out of.
I mean, whatever those eyeballs are made out of,
Yeah.
they give Mother her powers.
Yeah.
So they can't be natural.
Activate her powers.
Activate her powers, right. We don't completely understand
Yeah.
Mother's powers. We don't understand the necromancers as much as we would like to.
But, I mean, thank you, Ridley Scott. I appreciate that. Also, Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron Gazowski.
That's right.
I think that's how you pronounce it. All right, so Marcus delirious. He's trying to walk, trying to crawl. He ends up on his back again, and he sees a lander. We're assuming it's a lander that belongs to the atheist clan right now, where we've got Mother, Father, Mary Sue, and all the kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that summarizes it. So he sees the lander. He takes a sign from Soul, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go. I guess fight these guys. I don't know what his plan is."
I really like this though, because it makes it very clear to you that he's losing his mind. I guess if you want to call it that, he's like, your king is coming, your king is coming.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, dude, he's still believing that he's chosen by soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's still thinking about his child. He's like, I'm coming, Paul. Your king is coming. Your king is
Oh
coming.
yeah, Paul's with the atheist right now.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, then we cut to the inside of the lander. We have the whole atheist clan with father at the helm, mother just clutching at her belly, humming, doing the same humming I think from the other episodes as her favorite song, I guess.
Her comfort song, I guess.
And they're traveling through, I guess, a cloud, a fog.
They're looking for a place to have the baby, no?
Yeah, they're definitely looking for a place where the delivery will be most optimal. And mother's saying that as soon as the birth is done, then we can go to the tropic zone. They've talked about the tropic zone this whole fucking season. And as they get closer to the location where they have mapped out the best spot to have this baby, they've noticed a lot of readings of life signs. So it looks like it's completely overrun with the creatures that they've been fighting this whole season. And Mary's worried about it. She says that they probably shouldn't land there. She should pick somewhere else. Paul pushes back, saying that they're on a holy mission. This is Soul's baby. So no matter what happens, they can't hurt us. They're protected by Soul, basically.
Hate Paul right now.
Religious fanatic over
He's
here.
trying to shove it down my throat, dude. No, I don't.
No, I think Paul's fine. Paul's fine right now.
Yeah.
So they're getting closer, and it looks like the creatures are actually heading out. In their little radar, they see that they have a timing. They have an opening to come into the location. It looks like it's the side of a mountain. It's a foresty area next to a giant hole. One of those.
I just want to point out really quick how they're seeing the map full with creatures, and then the creatures start to disappear. They start leaving the spot. So they decide to land there.
Yeah, I feel like I think they mentioned, no, that maybe the lander was scaring them off. Like maybe it was a loud sound or whatever.
I think that makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Or it could be Soul's will.
I mean, yeah, if you
I can feel it. Pushing it down my throat.
Someone has to. So they land and they're getting out of the lander. We have Mary and Sue and father with the rifles. They have little guns. Just making sure they're protecting, I guess, mother at this point. Because mother she's not defenseless, right? But she is not a war weapon right now.
Yeah.
And she's vulnerable. She's got a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Once they made sure that the area is secure, they're all heading out now, and the father is holding the kid's hand while they get off the lander. Mother walks up to the hole, and she's having those glitches again. She's seeing the hole surrounded by these hooded figures. It looks like the cult again, right?
Yeah.
And she's remembering, she's remembering that she had seen this kind of ritual that they were performing, and I don't know why she's remembering this right now. It's very, very strange.
Right, that's the same vision that she had when she scanned that card.
When she scanned the card,
in
yeah.
the previous episodes. Yeah.
Same sort of glitch effect, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And father comes up to mother, asking, "Are you sure this is the place? Are you sure we should have the baby here?" Mother is very confident. She says yes. And she looks happy. She looks like she's where she's supposed to be, right? Then Sue makes sure that they have everything moving, make sure that they have everything ready. At this point, I want to point out that the Atheist clan, they've got 3 adults now. They actually have a human adult protecting them now. So anyone that was worried about these androids not being able to show the emotional intelligence or whatever, that's completely out of here now. Well, we've already shown that the androids got these emotions, right? But now we've got a whole other human that's protecting them.
Yeah. I'm really, I guess, happy about this group. I'm really excited that Mary / Sue joined them. It just, I don't know. I think it would be like the perfect team for the tropical zone. So.
I was fantasizing about her just heading off with Paul and Vita and Holly. I thought that was going to be fine. I thought they could make it work, right?
Yeah. I thought that would be awesome too, but I think this also kind of works.
I always thought that Mary / Sue and Mother would have some sort of thing going on, right? Because they're both atheists.
Yeah, it makes sense that the atheists kind of huddle together. So
Yeah.
I like the group. I like the group. I have no other.
Yeah, they have no reason to hate each other.
Yeah.
So now they're walking. Seems like they're trying to find a location to set up their camp. I want to point out that it's a little strange that they're doing it away from the lander, but I guess they didn't land here where they want to set up because it is kind of a rocky area, tons of trees. It's actually pretty good cover, I guess.
And I feel like they feel comfortable leaving it alone since they're supposed to be away from the Mithric people. So.
Yeah, and they did show Father kind of locking the lander. Not sure what kind of good that's going to do, but we'll see. So they set up in the side of this mountain. They find a little cave, and it looks like they've got like lamps and shit. What is that, Campion?
Yeah.
Yeah, little Campion setting up a little place for Mother to sit, lay down, lay back. And, oh yeah, Campion's pretty happy with the way that he hit Father with the rock. He's talking to Mother about his proficiency with the sling.
I guess this is the moment where actually Campion is starting to realize that, not that the baby would be in the way, but that Mother has another priority at the moment that's not him. Because he's all excited, he's like, Mom, I'm going to show you how I do that sling, I'm going to show you this, I'm going to show you that. And she just kind of stops and like, okay, soon.
Yeah.
Soon, because, I mean, I need to have this baby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It would definitely be anyone's... I mean, it's just natural. People get jealous or they feel excluded when there's a new baby.
Yeah.
They
I
show
also-
it in his face.
I also think that they did it, that they're showing it like this because he literally lost his parents like a couple of times already. So having them back, it's kind of like, oh, my parents are back. I want their attention again. Because we saw Campion just refusing and like pushing them away and like, no, the soul and all these things. And then now he's realizing like, oh, like, no, like it's my parents, right? So he just wants to be with them. And now like it's too late because there's a new baby coming. So.
Well, it's not too late. It's just divided of attentions. So now Campion's just asking a couple questions about the baby, if it's going to be able to have Mother's powers, if it's going to be able to fly, for example. And I mean, no one knows right now.
We don't know. Yeah, we don't know yet until that baby's born.
No. And now Mary Sue comes into the scene, pretty much telling Campion to go play outside while so she can check on the baby. Seems like she's really concerned now that she's actually given it her own blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now Mary's talking about how there is the jealousy, and just in case if anyone didn't pick it up, right? That Campion's definitely jealous. He's definitely going to be missing out on the attention. You just got to get over it. And that's basically what Mary's telling Mother, but also bringing up how Father can also get jealous. I think that's interesting. That we hadn't considered that the other android would feel the attention being split.
Yeah, but I mean, there were androids, and again, the show makes that very clear to us that they're androids. I mean, they're not really supposed to be experiencing this because Mother does ask, like, jealous. You know?
Like,
she
why?
kind of like, why? What is that? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's aware of the word and why it exists, but I don't think she would actually be the cause of people's jealousy.
Yeah, because it's a human emotion.
Definitely.
You experience jealousy over other humans, right?
That's right.
So now Mary Sue is running some tests. She puts a needle into the belly and she sucks out some fluid, I guess.
Yeah.
Blood.
Blood
Not sure.
sample, maybe? I don't know.
Not sure. Or whatever's in her belly, she got some of it.
Yeah, thank you, Ridley Scott and Aaron. I'll buy that.
She's saying that it's close. That she's gonna have a baby soon. And now we cut to outside. We've got
Hunter.
Yeah, we've got Hunter talking to Holly and Tempest, saying that, oh yeah, it's Soul's baby. It's prophecy. We got the prophecy going on, right?
God damn.
I kind of like the fact that even though Hunter and what's her name?
Tempest.
No, not Tempest. It's not Vita either.
Holly.
Holly. Okay, Hunter and Holly, even though they don't trust the Mithric people, they still believe in the scriptures and like they haven't lost that belief system, I guess, and they're just kind of making it their own because they're not supposed to have any attachment to the androids, but they do. So they're kind of making the scriptures and evolving them in a way.
Maybe not evolving, it's just interpreting them in a different,
different
way.
way.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just accommodating to what their beliefs is. You know what? All these other Mithraic have been going kind of crazy and killing each other, and just skipping rank. You know what? Okay, those people are crazy,
Yeah.
but the whole religion itself is still, I guess, a viable belief for them.
Mhm.
All right. I want to point out how Hunter brings up that they went to the temple with the pentagonal sides.
That's right.
It's the best way we should have figured out that way to describe it. It's definitely just pentagonal sided building, right? They couldn't find a way in. Talking about how he was saved by Soul from being burned alive when Marcus stuck his arm
Mhm.
in there, right? So he's definitely saying that it's on some fucking divine shit. I get it, but I don't know if it is. We'll figure it out together, hopefully, Hunter.
At this point, Holly mentions the tooth, right? That she had found that previous episode.
Yeah,
And,
talking about it being the divine and stuff, and I mean, it doesn't really help their argument, in my opinion. The tooth is completely bullshit. If anything, it did help Holly find the courage to help Tempest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
But at that point, it could be anything. It's just a totem, right? A totem can be manifested in any fucking thing. It's about your own personal belief in said item.
Yeah. Cause like you said, like at that point, it was just Holly. She needed something, but at the end of the day, it was just her own.
Her own will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and they bring up that, oh, do you really think that the baby's divine? And Hunter's like, yeah, I just said it. Like, oh, they maybe Soul's been working through her mother this whole time. And then they just kind of look at each other. It's like, yes, I mean.
It's like, alright, I'll buy it.
Yeah, just kill all the fucking humans that survived Earth, right? So then we cut to Paul and Mouse, the very important scene with Paul and the mouse. The mouse is crawling away from Paul. He's so slow, but Paul just lets him get away from him, I guess.
Yeah.
And mouse finding a little cave, another cave that they didn't go into before, I guess. And Paul, of course, is following Mouse, his fucking mouse. And he's got a little flashlight, thank God, right? So you can fucking see what's in here.
Thanks,
so
Soul.
we can see, yes, thanks Soul that he's got a fucking flashlight. Probably called something else, fucking Soul Beam, fucking Ray or something.
Moonbox.
And he's just crawling his way through the fucking little crevice here. I kind of just want to get to it already.
That's probably why they hadn't seen it before, because it's only like child-sized cave. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously the humans and the Androids weren't gonna go in there, so.
I guess so, but I mean, it's also so... Like, why would there be... Okay, so when they get to the end of this cave, Paul picks up his mouse again. Fucking, I don't know why it was out of his fucking hand to begin with. But he looks up at the wall, and there's kind of a mural depicting a lot of different pictures. We've got several suns. We've got the moons in the similar alignment that they've got going on outside right now.
Yeah.
We've got some fucking astrology fucking signs or whatever. I'm assuming that big ball is the sun, right? The one to the left.
Yeah.
I want to, and we've got a ship. It looks like a ship on the wall here.
Yeah, it kind of looks exactly like, it's not even the lander, it looks like the first ship on the first episode. I feel like at this point that's kind of what they're trying to show us.
Okay, I'm gonna push back on that,
Go ahead.
and maybe I should wait for the bonus episode. I'm getting to it right now. Fuck it.
Let's do it.
We're supposed to assume that this picture is supposed to be mother and father and the embryos,
I
right?
mean, well,
I think that's where we're supposed to assume it's a similar shape to
yeah.
that ship that they had, and it's got the two people at the head of it, and then it's got the little eggs, the little embryos, I guess, in the back of the ship.
Right.
I am going so far to say that it's not the same lander, not the same ship, because one, it doesn't look exactly like it. So I guess that it's like a different shape. So that says enough for me. But also, the number of little
Embroidered.
well, it's like those spheres on the ship, and they're glowing.
Right.
And I mean, the way that we saw the embryos, they never like that. They were always in those little pods, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, those little pods, when you open them, there was some light that would come out of them.
I always
was
thought
like
it was
a
just
little-
light shining into them. I don't know. Maybe we'd have to see it again.
Okay.
But the point I'm trying to make is that there are 9 little orbs that are glowing in this vessel here. And we only saw 6 of the embryos. We knew that there were 12 embryos in total. So even both those numbers don't match up with this
Right.
picture.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking it's something else. We'll get to it later. We'll get to it later.
Yeah, we'll get to it later. We'll talk about it later. But I mean, at this point, like, I feel like it's for the, I guess, people that are not really overthinking it. It's like, oh my god, this is it. Like,
Yeah, they predicted the landing,
they
right?
predicted them coming in and their everything that they were going to go through, kind of BS, you know? I feel like this is kind of it. At this point, is what? Like, this whole atheist thing was predicted?
Yeah, they have their own prophecy of this.
Right.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. Do you see the little creature here? I hadn't seen it before.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like those creatures that
first-
they eat.
I'm sure we'll get a...
Maybe better picture of it in the
Maybe.
image.
There's a hand.
Yeah, it's a hand with some sort of figures on it. It's hard to tell what it's supposed to be. It looks like it's kind of old, too. He's looking out at the rest of it, and there's a snake that's moving. Let's just move past that right now.
With a
Yeah.
bunch of little eggs.
Yeah, just
Right.
a
Well, I mean, I assume they're eggs. I don't know.
moving tapestry right here. And he focuses on the lander thing, and he looks at the 2 beings that are piloting the ship on the wall, and they've got glowing heads. Weird.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Now, as far as I know, Mother and Father do not have glowing heads. Just saying that right now.
Yeah, the first time I saw it, I thought the glowing thing was just a way to represent like a woman, because long hair.
But they both
But they
have
both
They
have
both
it,
yeah.
exactly. So,
And that is how Mother looked in Tally's drawings, right?
yeah.
But, I mean, these don't look like Tally's drawings.
No, Tally's drawings were super...
Childish.
Childish.
Yeah.
And these look like caveman drawings, right? And as far as I know, none of Tally's drawings ever moved. But we're moving past that. Snakes. Now we cut to Campion and Father. Looks like they're digging for resources. I'm not sure. Digging for rocks, maybe? Not sure. But they're having a moment. Of course, Campion's apologizing for hitting Father with the sling, with the rock that he hit him earlier. Was this in the last episode? Or it might have been the episode before that.
Yeah, I think it was the episode before that, where he was trying to run away, right? And he
Yeah.
kind of hits him with a sling.
Yeah,
I mean, he hit him in the head with that fucking rock.
Then again, he didn't know it was Father. But I mean, we're going back to another
No,
episode,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Let's just keep it going.
Yeah, let's keep going.
And he just thinks that Father is mad at him for hitting him with the sling.
Oh, yeah. But Father reassures him. It's like, no, it was a good thing that you were trying to defend yourself. Because he was worried that his empathy would inhibit his survival. But now it's showing that, no, he's got what it takes to hurt another being to be able to defend himself, right? Yeah, and Father saying that he's become something of a warrior. I don't know if it's that far, but...
I mean, just encouraging words to a
Yeah.
child.
That's true.
That's
You're
all
right.
it is.
You're right. You're right.
It's
All
just
it
a
is.
little father and son moment.
They smile at each other, and now Mother's telling them to come for dinner. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna eat.
Super awkward. She's just standing there with a little smile. And I think she's just doing it to, I guess, bring comfort to Campion because apparently he's jealous. But it just, I don't know, the smile looked creepy to me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, it looks fake. I think she's really good at showing like a fake smile, right? Because she's an android.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if she's trying to smile, that's the best she can do. Oh yeah, they're digging for biofuel. That's what they're doing. Mother's telling Father that they have enough biofuel. He doesn't have to do this anymore. But he's like, no, I'd rather do this. And Mother's telling him like, oh, you're mad at me, aren't you?
You're jealous.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
you're-
jealous of me.
Mother tells him that, oh, you're jealous of me, aren't you? You're jealous, aren't you? Talking about the pregnancy, and Father being reluctant to ask about where it came from. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And he's talking about how he tries to delete the thoughts, but they keep on coming back, and he can't comprehend it, but the thoughts keep returning. So they're having a sort of fight of sorts, right?
A little confrontation.
Yeah, because Father's not asking, but he's begging the question, right? He's pretty much, okay, well, how the fuck did this happen, right? And Mother's describing it. They found a hibernation chamber.
Mm-hmm.
She went inside it.
She went into the sim.
Yeah, Father's like, oh, was it a virus or something? And Mother's like, no, I thought it was too, but I was mistaken. And just telling him that she was able to get into her own archived memories. Father saying, you should have talked to me. You should have told me what was going on. I mean, obviously, right? Like, you gotta be on the same page with your partner. And now Mother's talking about Campion, the original Campion, the creator. And Father's saying that he doesn't have any memories of that, but she does. I mean, he spent more time with her, I'm assuming, because of all the debugging that he had to do, all the different programming stuff.
Yeah, and she makes it very clear. She's like, oh, well, he didn't do that for you. He only did it for me, Father.
Yeah, like he didn't archive the memories for you.
Yeah.
So now she's saying that she seems to have maybe uncovered some sort of hidden program that she was able to interact, quote unquote, with the creator. And Father's like, interaction? Elaborate, please. Oh, and yeah, they communed in virtual space. And she was able to...
Communed. Is that what they're calling it now?
Yeah, we're calling commune. Talking about how she was able to access files that she didn't know she had.
Commune, entanglement, whatever you want to call it.
Ooh.
Some entanglement. Some topical humor right there. Now she's explaining that she was able to download files and find out that she was able to create this life that she didn't know she could. She's pretty much saying that it seems that she's got infinite programming capability, I guess, or whatever.
It made her feel like she had that, which I want to say that, guys, she's describing an orgasm a way an android would. A way an android would.
I guess.
I can't argue that.
Dude. I don't want to get to it, guys, but you can listen back to one of our previous podcasts where I described that whole scene. We all know what that room was covered with.
Yeah, and
Poor Father, dude.
Father's like, oh, you made it? And Mother's just, matter of fact, yes. Yes, Father, and it was extraordinarily pleasant. And Father just goes back to digging. He seems pretty offended by this conversation at this point, right? Can't really blame him. I mean, I guess I could blame him because he's an android. He shouldn't have these kind of feelings, right? But for some reason he does. Yeah, he's talking about how he seems to be misplaced because he was supposed to be the father figure, and now this kind of stuff happened without him, I guess. I don't fucking understand it. I do want to say this whole thing with Mother and Father, it's not unpleasant, but it's kind of...
Like we're watching kind of someone get cheated on, and it's kind of like...
It's not what I was watching Raised by Wolves for, you know?
Yeah, me neither. Like, I wasn't there for that type of drama, but I mean, shit, it's happening. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Aaron, thank you, and Ridley Scott.
And it is kind of different in the way that it's not humans fighting about this. They would be fighting. Instead, it's androids having a discussion about this calmly and still not being able to come to terms.
I guess it goes back to the fact where, yes, they're mother and father, but I never saw them as a relationship. So
like as a couple.
Yeah, as a couple. Or that type of relationship or that type of whatever.
Well, I mean, I don't think they're programmed to mate.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. So seeing Father kind of be unpleasant, or it was just unnecessary, because at the end of the day, they're androids. I didn't expect for them to be together. I don't know.
I mean, Mother, Father.
Exactly.
No. Yeah, obviously Mother and Father, but I think I just thought that was what they were gonna name them, so the children can call them Mother and Father. Like, oh, this is my father, this is my mother. That doesn't necessarily mean they're together.
Right.
Or at least I didn't see them together.
In this scene, what kind of like breaks my heart a little bit even more, because Father's already like, you could see that he's uncomfortable, and he's kind of just by the side digging, and they talk blah blah blah, and then Mother kind of tells us like, what, like, I haven't even told you the disturbing part, or like the part that's wrong, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, I think you did.
Yeah.
I think you did. Like, that's it. Like, it's not gonna get any worse for Father. Like, that was it. That was the worst thing you could have told him. Yeah. And now Mother's still telling him like, well, no, it's not. I have something else to tell you. And he's like, I guess tell me at this point, because what else are you gonna do?
Yeah, and she brings up how
She banged our creator.
No, well, that's the first bit of unpleasant stuff.
Yeah.
But the other bit of unpleasant news is regarding their mission.
Right, my bad. I was still thinking the way Father is. I apologize, guys.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I totally understand. So Mother brings up how she communicated with the creator in this virtual space, and that it's something that's troubling for her to deal with, but that apparently the entire crop of kids that they were supposed to bring up was only supposed to be practice. That the real mission was supposed to be the child she has now. Very, very out there, very strange. It kind of goes against their whole thing, especially Father, where he doesn't have this divine revelation, right? He doesn't understand that this is the mission. Like, no, I'm programmed to think that Campion is the mission, that these kids are the mission, right? And Father is pushing back on Mother telling him this information, that their mission is for them to decide, that they don't have their creator with them anymore. And I think that Father knew that from the beginning, where Mother's thing was not to interact with the Mithraic at all, and that they need to be completely separate. They need to be even antagonistic towards them. But Father knew that as soon as all the other kids were dead, the only way Campion was going to survive is if he was raised by these Mithraic, and that's why he went against Mother to call them in the first episode. So it is that he knew that they can decide their own mission.
Yeah, and again, here we have it again where Father's letting Mother know, because this is not the first time that Mother sounds like she's talking about a deity, which we know she's not. We know she's talking about her creator.
But she's talking about him.
Yeah, she's talking about him like if he's a god.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of how the sim and what Campion himself kind of made it look like. I could give you anything and everything, and I mean.
You can do anything, right?
Yeah.
Completely crazy, and because as a robot, as a fucking android, you're supposed to know your limitations, right? Let's move on.
Right.
So Mother puts Father's hand to the belly, and Father's like, "Oh, well, our mission's for us to decide." Pulls his hand away. Mother says, like, "Oh, that's a childish thing to say. Our mission's not for us to decide. We were taught to believe in ourselves, not a god." And Mother's like, "Oh, the terminology is
it's not amusing."
Yeah, the terminology is not amusing. And Father like, "Oh, I guess my being able to amuse you has waned over the years." And I thought like, "Oh, that's pretty much a gut punch right there, right?"
Yeah.
If they had guts to punch.
I mean, yeah, something to punch, and it was punched. Carlos, obviously, his feelings are hurt.
His feelings are hurt. He walks away now. Yeah. And Mother's like, "Oh, well, your melodrama is fucking peak right now."
Yeah.
And Father's saying that he's had enough. That she doesn't seem to care about him, so he's gonna go away. And I want to point out, this is after telling Campion that he would not leave him in the last episode. So Campion sees that they're having a fight, goes out, and goes up to Mother. He's like, "Oh, well, what's going on? Where's he going, Mother?" And Mother doesn't say anything. And now he's got split parents again.
I guess like at this point, Mother's just also confused, and she really does think it's childish. But I mean, you're not understanding. She's not understanding his feeling. Like zero empathy is happening.
And that is so human.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't what I was watching the show for.
Yeah,
right?
this is not what I was watching the show for either. But I mean, I'll buy it.
It's
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, they were fighting in a way that if they were human, they would be shouting at each other, but instead they were just in calm voices, even though they were.
I mean, they raised their voice a little bit. But
mostly from Father. But I mean, understandable. He was upset. He feels like
they were both upset because she was questioning her beliefs. He was questioning her beliefs.
Yeah.
Well, it's because she made it sound religious, and they're not religious.
But it is. I mean, it's a belief system.
Yeah.
We know that. Moving on. So now we got Campion following after Father here. Asking where he's going to go. Father just turns back and he says like, "Oh, well, I've reached the point where I can't be around Mother. Sorry, Campion." Campion questions him about it, but Father can't elaborate. He really doesn't know what to say to him, I guess, and he just turns around and walks away.
Honestly, when I saw this scene, I thought Father was leaving, like, for
For good.
good. And I thought it was just...
Spoilers.
Yes,
Um,
spoilers for the next scene. Of course.
Sorry. I thought he was really leaving for good, and it's just upsetting how in the previous episode when Campion woke up because he was hit by Yatho, and he woke up and he was like, "Promise you'll never leave me," and he promised, and then boom, like, bye.
I guess that's why he's coming back. I mean, he's just having a fit of rage, I guess you would call it.
I mean, we'll get to it. He is just trying to figure things out.
Yeah,
himself, right?
he really is. But Campion at this point, obviously he's a little kid. He doesn't know if his father's gonna come back. So Campion really is like, "Are you really leaving me?" Like,
Yeah.
He doesn't, and Father doesn't elaborate that Mother's a cheating android at this moment. So
Cheating believer. This is not ally with my atheistic beliefs. Really great cinematography, though. I really like all the light shining through the forest there. Now we cut back over to Marcus, still in a delirious state. We can tell this by the filter that we have over this all. Where we can't even tell what he's seeing is really there because it's kind of everything's faded in and out. And now he sees a figure on this rock here. He's walking up to it, and he's like, "Oh, I followed the lander here, right? So where's the lander? I want something about my kingdom. I don't give a fuck."
He's hallucinating me.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, do you want to die?" Oh, and the figure turns around. It's Hunter. And he's like, "Oh, well, anything would be better than this." And he pulls up that hand that Marx had shoved into the temple. He's like, "Oh, well, he's got a snake. He's got a giant snake on his arm now."
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, this is what sold it to me. You are his one true servant." Pretty much validating whatever the fuck Marcus is on, right?
yeah,
And fucking Hunter's snake arm hates Hunter too and bites him in the neck.
I want to point out that I would like to see Marcus do a lot more than kind of him losing his mind at the last.
In
like,
this
the
episode.
Not even that sad, just kind of later on in the series itself.
Like, he did do a lot.
He
Probably did more things than anyone else in the show right now.
Definitely. I just didn't like the way his character is currently going down. I don't like the path that he's going down right now.
Yeah. Well, we can talk about it in the bonus episode because I also want to talk about that.
And there's something that's still gonna happen right here that.
Definitely.
So we gotta see what's going on. I mean, if this is all he was doing this episode, just walking around delirious, I'd be pissed too. But something does happen at the end of this.
Yeah.
So then Marcus just walks past Hunter killing himself with his snake arm, I guess. Because he sees this giant snake skull, comes up to it, he touches it, and he hears a hiss.
Very accurate.
He pulls back, he looks at it, he smiles. Very strange. Scene cuts. Back over to the atheist camp. We got Paul coming up to Campion. He's like, "Oh, can you take care of Mouse for me, please?" And he's like, "Okay, well, why?" He's like, "Oh, I can't tell you. It's supposed to be a surprise." But Campion's hesitant. Paul seems to recognize that and is like, "Oh, well, Mouse isn't evil, I promise." Because again, we know that he's been seeing Tally's ghost. And he thinks that Tally's evil because she fucking told him to kill himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. You and your surprises, Campion. Tired of Paul's shit.
I like this from Campion.
But
like,
I mean,
if you one word out of you and you're going into the pit.
Yeah, but I mean frenemies because even then he still took the mouse. Like.
Oh yeah. Even though he's begrudging about it, he's like, "Okay, well,
I guess I'll take care of
I'm
it."
not doing anything else right now, I guess." Now we cut over to Father, who's just sitting on a rock talking to himself. He seems to be struggling with the current predicament that he's got. Where he's got these stick figures that's representing Mother and the kids, and then the stick figure representing himself. He picks up the stone that's supposed to be him. And he's like, "Okay, well, I need to be around the kids to protect them, but I cannot be around Mother. And Mother is always around the kids." What a predicament, he says he has. He gets up, and frustrated, I guess, he chucks the rock that's supposed to be him. And we just hear it fall nowhere. And we get a good scene of emotion from Father right here. But he seems to have come to the realization of something. He picks up another rock, a dark rock now. And he seems to have come to the conclusion. He's like, "Yes, this is the only solution. and he puts the rock back down to represent him. I don't know if you guys want to talk about this real quick. I remember watching this the first time, and I thought, like, oh, holy shit, he's gonna do something to Mother. Right?
I thought the same thing. I thought he was gonna kill Mother, but
so I want to say that the rock changing that stuff, because he had a white rock that was representing him, then he threw it, then he found the dark rock, and he put it back to his figure, right, to represent him. I thought that was supposed to be like, oh yeah, I've got to be something else, right? Like I've got to be darker. I thought I was gonna go. He might get violent. He's definitely got the capability of it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
So he's still just looking at the ground here. Do you guys have anything else you want to?
Honestly, like you said what I was thinking. Like, cool. You're thinking the same.
So father is still just thinking about what he's doing. He hears something behind him, a branch crack, and he sees a hooded figure. It's the first time we've seen one in a while. One represented in reality, I guess I want to say, because we don't know if the tally stuff is real.
Right.
And he seems to follow it. It's not one of those fast-moving ones, thank God.
Yeah.
And now we cut back over to Campion, who's playing with the mouse. Mary Sue sees him. Is like, oh, what's Paul? He's like, oh, well, Paul asked me to watch the mouse. Mary Sue's like, oh, well, where is Paul? Where is he? Do you know where he is? He's like, no, something about a surprise for Mother's baby. And Campion seems pretty happy about this. He says, like, oh, the mouse isn't evil. No one cares for Campion.
Again, he is a child. There's so much joy in his fucking eyes just playing with the mouse.
Saying if it was an evil mouse, what the fuck can the mouse do?
You know, bite people's fingers, man.
Or lead them down the wrong path.
Or lead them into a rock cave that apparently has a bunch of paintings on the wall, like an evil mouse, a conspiring mouse.
Conspiring mouse, holy shit.
They better get into the fucking mouse later on, because I want to...
Final boss of the Raised by Wolves season 2 is going to be a mouse. The mouse.
A fucking giant mouse just appeared.
A mouse king. So told me. So now we cut over to Mary Sue coming up on the lander. Seems to have found Paul walking out of it. He's like, oh, Paul, what are you doing? What are you doing? She grabs him by his arm. And he's like, nothing, I'm not doing anything, He's like, oh, well, what do you have there? And she grabs his bag.
Yeah, because he was kind of like, when she was asking him, he kind of put his hand over the bag, just pointing that out. He kind of puts his hand over the bag like, oh, nothing.
Trying to hide it. And like, oh,
stupid.
She's like, I know it's not mouse. What do you have in the bag? What do you have in the bag, Paul? What's in the bag, Paul?
What's in the bag?
All right, so she gets the bag. She looks in the bag, Mary Sue, and she pulls out a device, I guess. Like, oh, did you know? Well, why'd you take this from the lander? You know we can't fly without this. Paul's like, oh, well, we shouldn't leave here. We shouldn't go to the tropical zone. It's not safe for the baby. We need to stay on this side of the planet. And Mary Sue is like, what the fuck? Where did this come from? Mm-hmm. Did Mouse put you up to this? No, she's like, who you been talking to? And he's like, oh, Soul told me.
AKA the mouse.
It's like, what? At first I thought it was Mouse, Paul. But it's Soul. I can hear him. So he's going crazy. Or he's experiencing the same shit that Marcus was.
Yeah,
right?
Which you can tell in her face that she's freaking out because she's seen this with Marcus and she's like, no, like, you can hear him.
Yeah, she saw what it led Marcus to being crazy. Yeah. It drove him crazy. He's like, oh my god, the same thing's gonna happen to my son. You know, that's probably what's going through her mind right now.
Yeah, I'll say so. Yeah, Paul's just elaborating that, like, no, I don't hear him with my ears, I hear him with my head. And he brought Mouse to me that showed me how much he loved me.
Oh my god.
Goddamn Mouse.
And I had to get rid of the lander to show him how much I loved him, and he didn't say that. That's basically what he's doing right here, right?
Yeah.
It's a sacrifice. Trying to chuck this very important piece of the lander away.
Yeah.
And Sue's just telling him, like, oh no, like, this is the voice that you're talking to.
Yeah, like, as an atheist, she finds a reasonable explanation. Like, oh, you heard me and my father, and your father talking about this. And, like, she doesn't believe him. There's, like, no way Soul's talking to you because, like we know
she's hearing it from two different sources.
Uh-huh.
So it kind of one backs up the other. So it's like, no way. There's no way this is Soul. Like, you had to have heard me and Father talk about this.
Yeah.
But we know that he's definitely heard something. Oh, right? At the end of the last episode, we heard the whispers.
Sue doesn't know that though.
No, she's trying to find the rational explanation to it. It's like, oh no, that you're going crazy. I'm sorry, son, but you're going crazy. But you need to listen to me. Yeah, she says that soul does not exist. Oof, and Paul's just like, what? You told me when I was little that he was real.
Oh.
And Mary Sue's like, oh, like, well, I used to believe too, but I don't anymore. Still lying to him. I'll point that out.
Yeah, she doesn't. Yeah.
Saying that the father didn't hear Soul's voice, that he went crazy, he was sick inside. But you're not like him. You're not sick. You're nothing like him. And she's crying.
You're nothing like that atheist scum.
Ugh. Yeah, she's just trying to plead to him, just trying to make him understand that it's in his head. And he just says that he's sorry. And she hugs him.
She started crying too.
Yeah.
But we can see Paul's face that he's just looking down, looking away.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's listening to Soul right now. We don't know.
Tired of it, these atheists thing.
Now we cut back to Mother in the cave. Now it's night. And we see the moons moving into formation right here. She hears heavy beating in the distance. That's what the subtitles say. It definitely sounds like a heartbeat, right? It was definitely
Yeah.
some sort of heartbeat. Maybe not human, but something, right?
Right.
So she's walking out of the cave. It seems like everyone's asleep. So she's just able to walk away without anyone noticing.
Next, she's a ninja, obviously.
Yeah, big pregnant ninja. Yeah, she walks away slowly. No one notices. She's coming up to the pit, the hole, the wormhole. We just get the silhouette of Mom's pregnant figure with the moonlight. If you're into that, cool.
She's right on the edge too. Like,
Yeah.
like she walked all the way up to it, and she's right on the edge. Like half of her foot is already in the hole.
She's confident she's not involved. And now she's
Talking.
pleading to God, right?
Or I mean, camping, but it like makes it clear that it's like she believes in a deity. That's what it looks like. I mean,
Well, let me repeat the questions that she's saying, right?
yeah.
She comes into this wormhole, like as she was hearing the beating from, right? She just looks at it. There's nothing, and she starts talking to herself or to God or to camping, right? It's like, what am I to do with this child? What is its purpose? Can't you make me understand?
I mean, just talking to Campion, I want to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've done the improbable, perhaps impossible things before. Why not now? So here we see like maybe cracks in her beliefs. Maybe
Right.
Yeah.
she's
Or maybe opening her beliefs.
maybe
To
it is.
actual
It's
Campion.
definitely a kind of prayer. I want to say, right?
Yeah.
Where she's pleading out and she's looking for answers in the divine, right? Something that's
Mhm.
she believes is there that may not be there.
Yeah.
Very religious. And now we see the hooded figure has found Mother and coming up on her with an axe, right? A little wooden stone axe. He tries to hit her. She hears him, turns around, grabs the axe, and then fucking shoves her fucking right arm into his chest.
She fucking ninja'd him.
Yeah.
Completely
like nothing.
murdered this fucking thing. She is not a weak woman, even without her powers. She kills him in one hit. She says he's dead. As Father comes up, we can see that that's the creature Father was following. And they reveal this creature's face. I want to point out that it seems like the same kind of material that's covering his face that we found in the hole in the first episode.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe without come back. Maybe he won't.
Maybe.
It's like, oh, so what is this? Why did it try to kill me? What's going on? And they check its bag. It's a Neanderthal skull. It's like an old, ancient human skull. Father says that
Displaced whom
Homo sapiens.
There you go.
Yeah, displaced Homo sapiens from at least 40,000 years ago. Holy shit.
Dun dun dun.
Maybe the Mithraic brought it with them, Mother says. Father is looking at it and it's like, oh, Mother's like, oh, maybe it's one of their relics. Father, not giving a fuck, just takes a chunk out of the
Yeah.
skull, puts it in his mouth, spits it out in a second. It's talking about how it's not from Earth, that its chemical composition is local. And Mother's like, oh, well, if humans exist here, why don't we see them?
Yeah, that whole time the father was testing it in his mouth, Mother was inspecting the face, kind of grabbing it, going in.
Yeah, she's looking at the creature's face, yeah.
Exactly, showing no care about this being alive a couple seconds ago.
Yeah.
She's completely touching his face, nose, eyes, mouth.
Yeah, she's
analyzing it. Yeah.
Yeah. What they say here?
They're not. It's not evolving. It's devolving.
Oh yeah. Oh, are they evolving? It's like no, they're devolving.
Mm-hmm.
So they seem to be coming to a conclusion that there was humans here on this planet, and they have become these creatures that they have been seeing, right? And Father talks about how there's a history of this planet, and it's a history that they are dangerously ignorant of. I like that line.
Yeah, I really like that. Made it very clear to us. When he mentioned that at this point, I was like, oh hell, we've kind of been ignoring everything that's around them. We've just been focusing on the Mithrite and the atheist, and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what the whole show is about, right? But we've actually been ignoring everything that's in the planet, really. So the little storms that have been happening, why the hell have been happening in the middle of nowhere?
Mm-hmm.
The creatures, who are they, where they come from? We never really.
Why didn't we see them before?
I mean, we did talk about it, but we never really went into this much detail. As you know what?
I mean, we definitely don't understand.
Yeah. We were very ignorant.
Yeah, still ignorant. 1.0. I have theories about it, but we'll get to that in the next episode.
Of course.
Father says like, oh, we should have the baby somewhere else, somewhere of your own choosing, Mother. Right? There's something wrong with this place, and Mother's like, no. I felt it since we arrived here. I feel stronger here. So she has some sort of connection to this place where they're at right now. Not sure why. They haven't seemed to show anything that she feels stronger or anything, right? But whatever, we'll take her word for it now.
Right. I'll
And
buy it.
seem to be digging a shallow grave for this creature. Oh yeah, talking about how they shouldn't explain it to the kids yet because they'll feel a certain way about having eaten these creatures. Yeah, that might be human.
Yeah, Mother's talking about at this point they're just burying the body, and they start talking about, you know what, we should kind of keep this to ourselves, because then that means that the creatures that we've been eating have been devolved humans, which makes them, I mean, either way, they were cannibals, right? But now they're cannibals to their own humans, I guess.
Yeah.
So, a little disturbing, or it would cause them distress, as Mother said.
By the way, honestly, they're burying the body when they could have just thrown it in the pit. Like, it was right there.
That's true.
Ridley Scott, Aaron, what's going on? Please leave a comment below.
Maybe they wanted to bury this. Maybe this
Like, they'll bring it back?
Maybe it'll come back season 2.
Maybe.
We'll see. They're leaving a place where it can be found by these people, right? That they're saying that they don't want to tell what's going on.
Yeah, I don't want anyone to find it, so let me dig a hole 1 foot deep.
Yeah, with its face still exposed.
Yeah, with face still exposed.
And Father's just saying, oh yeah, it'll be really easy for me to keep the promise safe once I erase my memories.
Yeah, because he told Mother he's going to have Hunter erase her files, because he's very aware of that Hunter could actually program them a certain way or whatever.
Oh yeah, Hunter seems smart enough to do it, right?
Apparently. He has the highest IQ from what I hear.
Apparently. And he's saying that he needs to get this done because he's displaying human anger and he shouldn't have to, that his job will be easier once he deleted all the memories and their time together, that they can start anew. And hopefully that he won't develop the same feelings because the version of her now is different from the version that he first met.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I guess I understand that, but it's still like, okay, well, why'd you fall in love with her to begin with, right?
Yeah, and that's kind of interesting because he's basically implying that, like, you're not the person that I fell in love with. That's basically what he's... I'm just translating his little android proper talk to basically getting the gist of it, and this is what this man's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I want to point out that Mother says, like, oh, well, all the jokes that you've come up with will be lost.
Mm-hmm.
Father points out, like, that's incorrect because you'll still have memory of all these jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Not unless you've deleted them already, right? So kind of a little
jab.
Yeah, a little jab.
Yeah, kind of a little jab at Mother because he's disappointed in her. So at this point, anything that you do wrong, I'm pretty sure you've already done it. That's kind of it.
Yeah, so Father's definitely feeling a way about it, and Mother's just saying like, "Oh, well, I'm not your enemy." Father has nothing to say to that. Now, Mother seems to be hearing some sort of melody, indistinct melody. Whistling, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Father doesn't even hear it. Mother's saying like, "Oh, do you hear that? Do you hear that?" It's like, Father's, "Are you all right, Mother?"
You're right. Are you mating at this moment?
No, Father thinks it's a baby.
Yeah.
My Mother's like, "Oh, well, no, I mean, my sensories are just too keyed up or whatever." She brushes it off. So Father keeps on digging. And again, just very shallow grave for this creature. And he turns back around to Mother, and she's gone.
Needed to mate.
So now Father's alone. And now before we get any further here, I would like to just take a quick little pause, little break, so we can get to our first sponsor that we've got for the program here. Hello, bringing you a message from our sponsor now. Do you have objects in high places? Do you have things behind hard to reach corners? Well, have we got the product for you? Snakes. Not only can these snakes be brought up to reach hard to reach shelves, they can also reach around back corners or behind couches where you may have dropped out objects that can be grabbed by a snake. Again, you can also use these snakes, cosmetically. You can use one as a bracelet. You can use them as a necklace. Mm-hmm. Again, these are living snakes, so you got to make sure you feed them so they do not attack you. But that shouldn't be so hard.
They get rid of mouse problems. If you have any mouse problems, you're getting tired of that, seeing that around your house, get a snake. I'm pretty sure he will take care of that for you.
And do we have snakes for you? We have rattlesnakes. We have big snakes. We have
the king cobras.
We have king cobras. We have small snakes, little garden snakes, the cute ones right there. They're my favorite snakes. We've got psychic snakes. We have space snakes.
We have some flying snakes, I hear.
We have some robot snakes. We have dark snakes. We have light snakes. We have multicolored snakes. Poisonous, we got you. Non-poisonous, we've also got you. We have giant stone snakes. The kind that will make you into stone too. Excellent if you're into being stoned. So, when you need a snake, find us. We have the best snakes over at snakeoflegend.com. Again, that is snakeoflegend.com.
Snakes not made for human consumption. Do not keep your snakes nurtured and unsupervised. Snake of Legend is not responsible for any unleft and discarded snake skins.
So thank you. That was a message from our sponsors. Carlos, would you like to continue?
Yeah, we'll get right back into this recap here. So we cut to Mary/Sue waking up. It looks like she's feeling pretty groggy here, but she hears the beeping coming from her little device that she had injected, or she had pulled out liquid from Mother, and we don't understand what it's saying, but she's looking at it and she seems to says like, "Oh shit, oh shit," and she gets up really quick. Says, "Mother, Mother." Trying to get everyone's attention now at this point. Or just trying to go find Mother. Yeah, she runs into the cave. Now we see Paul waking up. He seems to be hearing the whispers. Yeah, he's hearing some sort of... And he seems hesitant, but he's reaching over for Mary's gun. And Mary doesn't find Mother inside, so she goes outside, tries to wake everyone up. It's like, okay, we need to go find Mother fast. Get up, get up. Paul, coming out from stage left, pointing the gun at Mother. Liar. I know who you are. And Mother's like, "Oh, Paul, what are you doing? Put the gun down." And Paul's like, "No, you're not my mother." Oof. And it just, we get a long...
The glass shatters.
Yeah, we get a long shot of Mary Sue's reaction. Says, "I am your mother." But Paul seems to know what went on. He says like, "No, she killed my real mother and father." And
she and that man making it clear that it's both of them. He knows
Marcus,
about both of them.
Yeah, Marcus too. Now I'm saying that they killed his real parents and they took their faces. And that soul is the one that told him that. And he seems really adamant about that. Now he's saying that you're a demon, you're an atheist demon. And oh my God, just Mary Sue's just so broken up about this. You see it in her face. And now Paul's asking, he's like, "Well, aren't you? Tell them." And I mean, she's not saying anything now. And now Paul shouts, "Tell them." He just says, "I'm sorry, Paul." And Paul says, no, you're not sorry. You're evil. And now she wants to harm Mother's baby. She wants to stop the miracle. Don't you, Mary? And that's when we know that he knows her name.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no way anyone else would have known that.
No,
Yeah.
no,
There's no way no one else would have known besides her.
no, yeah. And now she's crying now. You can see that. And she's crying saying, no, I'm trying to save it. I swear. It's like, no, you're lying. I know you're lying, Paul to Mary. Just holding the gun up. Now he's squeezing the handle. Says, Soul, guide my hand. Shoots. He hits her in the gut. And that seems like it's like the kidney shot, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So I want to point out that can be a lethal shot, or it could be completely fine. Like if it's not hitting the kidney, right?
Yeah, at this point, like, all the kids kind of just freak out, like, oh my god, like, this guy actually shot her.
Yeah.
The only adult currently in that area around
Yeah.
them, so they kind of stop, they all kind of go at him. By the way, all the kids around them, they were just staring at him like, what? Like, what's happening? They kind of just woke up, like, am I dreaming? It's insane, like, am I really
Yeah, no one
waking
did
up to this?
anything.
Yeah, no one did anything. They were kind of, I guess, in shock.
I mean, but
and listening.
Well, they're not trained, right? They don't know what to do.
Hunter did try to kind of get close to him a little.
Like,
I didn't know
inching.
Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah.
missed that.
I mean, that would have been good if you can stop that, but I mean,
But no.
too late. I mean,
Soul guided that kid's hand.
yeah, now we have Tempest going
Fucking
at.
crazy, dude. I just.
Yeah, do you want to talk about this?
Yeah. Because I did not expect for it to go like this. Like, I did know, like, he would eventually find out about Mary and Marcus. No,
Right.
Mary
I
and
would-
Caleb.
I would-
But
We would have hoped that she would have been able to confide in him, right?
yeah, like, I didn't think he would react this way, especially because they got so close to him in the sim, and
I mean, they loved him.
they really did, and I'm sure he loved them. Like, he obviously, because he hadn't talked to his parents for a good while, but obviously they had an excuse. They were at war, but he got so close to them that I just expected him to be like,
Yeah.
no, these are my parents. Like, it's
and
fine.
he does say, it's like, oh, you guys never really talked to me at all. Like, he mentions
Yeah.
that in the sim, like, you guys never
Like,
really,
they made it so clear throughout the whole season.
that they were better parents.
For him to end up just shooting his mother figure, I guess. But when I first saw this scene, I was really upset. I didn't want to believe it. I was like, no. And then when he mentioned, I mean, I have a theory that I'll talk about it in the bonus episode.
Keep
But
an eye out.
Yeah, keep an eye out for that. But when he mentioned the names, I was like, no fucking way. Because he was like, oh, Soul told me. I was like, shit, is Soul real? But but I'll talk about my theory in the
Became
bonus
Ypsilanti
episode.
right there.
I mean, for a moment, I was like,
Snakes.
but like, obviously, just to like make it clear, my theory does not involve Soul. But I'll explain it in the bonus episode.
All right. So now, Paul had just shot Mary Sue, and well, I guess we could just call her Mary now. Right?
Yeah,
she's
Mary.
in her identity's gone as Sue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
And
no one.
I would want to call Marcus Caleb, but no, he's fully Marcus.
No,
It's
he's
Honestly,
fully
fine.
he really is Marcus now. He did
Yeah.
embrace that character.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he really did.
And so he shoots Mary, and Hunter runs after him, and he
Yeah,
says,
he's
"I'll
like,
catch
I
up."
was like, Paul, I'll get him.
Yeah.
And Tempest goes to comfort Mary at this point, and Holly also there, and they're but she's like, no, we gotta find Mother. Tell her that the baby's gotta come out now, or it's going to die. And they're like, fuck, okay, well, we gotta hurry. So
Yeah, I was like,
can't
okay,
be,
bail on
can't
this
be in
bitch.
running.
Let's go.
Can't be in running away. Now we cut to Mother coming up on a different cave. I want to point out there's a lot of caves on this fucking side of the.
Yeah.
Apparently.
And she's coming in on it. Seems very secluded. No one around here.
There you go.
Very dark scene. And now Mother is looking at the inside of the cave. Seems that there's an opening at the top. There's snow coming in. And she's remembering the scene that she saw from the hollow card or whatever it was. She walks up on this object that's in the middle of this cave now, and she hears the chanting from the memory. I guess we can call it memory.
We
now.
can call it a memory, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, at this point, we kind of are seeing...
Her memory of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's coming up on this object. Want to point out another
Reference.
wolf mannerism from her, and where she's sniffing this object that she's coming up on. And she uncovers it, and it seems to be some sort of cage object, right? It's some sort of... And she uncovers something else near it, and looks like it's the head of the creature
That we had seen, yeah.
that we had seen in her memory, or of this hologram image or whatever, right? She picks it up. We can see clearly that it is a sort of alien creature head, right? And she blows dust off it. We cut away to the pit. We're looking at the pit now. It's full of smoke. The smoke clears. Interesting.
Did you guys notice that she kind of blew on the skull itself or whatever it had, and then it automatically pans over to the hole itself, and
Yeah,
you
that's
see all the
interesting.
mist kind of just like if it was blown away.
Yeah, that's interesting. I hadn't noticed that before, but we're pointing it out to you guys now. She takes off this helmet that's on the creature, and now we know that it's not its face that we were seeing.
Definitely.
It was just a helmet on this creature, I guess. I didn't want to point out, and maybe it was even a torture device, because we're seeing now that it's a human head.
Right.
And it's got kind of a scaly skin to it. It's very weird. I want to point out fucking scaliness on this creature. And now she pulls back. She seems to be feeling something in her belly, and she's kind of spasming. Stood up now, and now we have a close up at her belly. Something's trying to push through. It's like, holy shit, what the fuck's going on? And she's freaking out, and her belly recedes, and so she doesn't have the pregnant belly anymore. So the pregnant belly that she had has receded, and she freaks out. She gets on her knees and she's crying. She's shouting, "Oh, why? Like, what's going on?" Right? It's like, you promised, and she's crying, and where's my baby? You said, and then she starts gagging before she can finish her sentence. She's spilling out that white blood that she's got, and now she straightens up, still on her knees. She looks up to the sky, and she opens her mouth, and we see something come out. She spits something out, and now we see something pulling out of her. It shows the sky, so it's showing those 3 moons that the planet has. And now we can see what is coming out of Mother here. I don't even know how to describe it. How would you guys describe this?
Describe this goddamn snake, dude.
I'm fucking tired of these snakes. By the way, I just want to point out the way she threw up the blood. It kind of looks like the way the torture device was spilling, like.
Yeah, in the memory.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going to say, like, some sort of torture device that they had, right? We'll get into that in the bonus episode. We'll get into
I just wanted to point it out.
Yeah.
The way she looks up at the 3 moons is exactly the way they look in the intro. I don't know if you noticed that.
The moons?
Yeah, the moons.
Yeah.
It looks like a little...
I thought you were going to point out how it's the same way she was looking up at the light when she was first banging Campion.
Also that. But what's it?
Betraying father. I'm going to point out.
What's the word? An eclipse. That's
There
what
you
it
go.
looked. An eclipse.
Like they were kind of aligning, I guess.
Yeah, aligning with the sun.
And then a fucking snake comes out.
It's not only a snake. It is a flying space, probably half cyborg snake.
I mean, yeah, because we do see that what they talked about was like, oh, maybe the baby could fly and shit. This snake is flying.
The snake is flying.
I also want to mention, Ridley, I saw that, Luke. I saw that little reference you did to your aliens, and I respect that so much. Because I know it's you guys. I know it's you guys.
Yeah, you talking. Go ahead.
I'm talking about when it was, it kind of zooms in on the belly, and it kind of shows that it's kind of pushing out.
It's trying to push out. It
It's
went out
trying to-
hard.
Yeah,
right?
it went out hard, and I was like, holy shit, and that reminded me so much of the Alien movies.
Yeah, because they always had the chest bursting, no?
Yeah, it was kind of the chest bursting, and obviously the alien baby would come out and
Yeah.
grow like
Yeah.
super fast. But I really love that reference. Appreciate it, guys.
They made it, and then it was like, no, we're taking it in a different direction. And it goes back inside, and the belly is gone.
Yeah, and she thinks that she lost her baby, right?
Uh-huh.
She had some sort of miscarriage, but no,
Broke
the
my
baby's
heart.
fine. The baby's just a snake.
Yeah.
You were fooled. That's what breaks my heart as well. Like this is that moment she came to the realization where she actually sees the snake, just flying in front of her, and she was like, like.
No, you can see it in her face.
Yeah, her face changed so much. It was more like disappointment. Like all what she was thinking about wasn't real. Like
I
she
don't,
was.
I don't
Yeah.
even think it's just as poison. I think she's disgusted with like the idea that she's been.
Used.
Yeah.
They fucking lied to her.
Yeah, they definitely coerced her into
They definitely.
being impregnated by the snake.
Well, because she thought it was Campion.
She
It's
thought it was
like,
Campion's baby.
dude, this is so sad. By the way, I want to describe that the snake's mouth is not
And then-
like a normal snake.
Okay, I actually want to bring this up to you guys. Have you guys seen Dreamcatcher? Stephen King?
Yeah, a long time
This,
ago.
you remember the snakes?
Yeah.
In that? They're just like that.
I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry,
it's
Stephen
really
King.
old movie. It's good movie.
We'll put it on the list. I do think
Okay, okay.
that's a good one. And with that, we can actually go into it and go into like the other Stephen King stuff.
I'm down.
That would be really cool. I'd love
I
to do that.
love
And I actually
it.
have not seen any Stephen King movie besides Dreamcatcher.
You've never seen it?
I've never seen it.
Oh my god, we're gonna have a blast. I
we'll
love
get
it.
there. We'll get there.
Okay, yeah.
Bringing it back. Yeah, bringing it back.
Yeah, trying to bring it back. So we see Mother's disgusted face as we see this. It's pretty magical how this snake is flying, and the way it fucking looks, right? Like it's slimy, like it's just born.
Oh no, mother.
But it does seem to be coming up to Mother. It's got some sort of attachment, right? Like it's coming up to her, and it right here, Mother's pulling back. She's trying to crawl away from it on her back.
The attachment is that to this thing, that is its mother. She just gave birth
Well,
to
you're
it.
assuming that the snakes has attachment, right?
Yeah, we are assuming.
But no, the snake baby is just coming up to Mother now, coming up to her belly. And I want to point out how, as the snake got closer to her, then one of Mother's nipples pulled out. Like the little, the 6 little, like, embryo nipples that she had, like a wolf.
Yeah.
It pops out, and the snake just completely latches on in an instant and is sucking on Mother now. And Mother's just completely shocked. She has no idea how to react.
Yeah.
I do think if she was human, she would be screaming, right?
Yeah.
This would be too much to handle.
Throughout the whole...
She can barely handle it as an android.
But I mean, I guess the representation of that as an android, she's in tears. Like she looks devastated.
Yeah.
She looks devastated. Her eyes look super red, and she looks like she's crying.
She is
already.
crying. She's crying.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to point out. Like throughout the whole thing, Mother is staring at it. She's shocked, but her eyes are tearing up. Her face, it like literally broke my heart. I know I've said this before. I've used this phrase a lot, but this scene just takes the cake. Like honestly, it was the worst thing that you could do to her.
Mm-hmm. Now the scene cuts away. It's morning now, and she's walking away from the cave. We've got Campion, I think.
Yeah,
We got Campion looking for Mother. He's shouting, "Mother, Mother, where are you?" And Mother hears him. I think she's even sees him, and she hides away.
Yeah.
She's cradling this snake baby now that's still sucking on her.
Feeding off her.
Yeah, and we even get close-up shots of this thing. It's shedding its skin rapidly. It's growing rapidly.
Yeah.
But she's coddling it like if it was her baby, right? But even though she is ashamed of it, she doesn't want to show it to Campion. She keeps on walking away, and she hears a branch snap. It's like, "Oh no, Campion, don't look at me." But no, it's Father. It's like, "Oh no, it's me, Mother. What's going on?"
It's embarrassed.
Yeah, he sees that she's cradling something, and she asks, "Oh, is it all right? Let me see it." And Mother's like, "No." She's still scared. It's like, okay, well, it wasn't from our Creator. Something else put this inside of me. Now she knows. Now she's willing to accept that she's been fooled. Now she's like, "I'm sorry, Father." And she shows Father the snake suckling, saying that it seems to be fine while it's suckling on her, and it's growing fast, but afraid once it's fed on my milk, it's gonna want blood. And she's not unreasonable to believe that, right? We already know that she was feeding it blood.
Yeah.
So Father's like, "Oh well, we can get rid of it. We can throw it in the pit." Mother's like, "No, it flies."
Yeah.
Just making it very clear.
But Mother does have a plan to get rid of it. She talks about the lander and how she can make it fall with that. And that she's sorry that she she can only be the creator of death, so she has to be the one to kill it. Father says like, no, let me help you, and Mother's like, no, I have to do it on my own. It's like, no, I have to be useful to you. It'd make me happy. And I mean, I think it also makes sense. I mean, she's losing blood. She's gonna lose functionality, I'm sure.
This is a very emotional scene because Father kind of just, even though he was still like he feels betrayed and all this, he's still trying to comfort Mother.
Oh no, because he can tell that she's
Yeah.
completely ruined by
And
it.
he's aware that she was used. She was.
Yeah. Well, he loves her. This is just proof that whatever he was feeling, he still has it.
Yeah, and it's not gonna go away.
Yeah. I want to point out the shedding, the skin shed. It's exactly what we've been seeing throughout the whole season. Like in the beginning, it was in the hole, the
skin.
the skin, and then it was in front of the face of that creature, whatever it was.
It was also covering the box.
So yeah.
The box that was holding this other human creature that was a torture device, in my opinion.
No, I meant the creature, the one that was
The
about
other
to
creature.
kill.
No,
Mother.
I'm agreeing with you, but I'm also
okay,
that
okay.
skin was also covering the box.
yeah.
Mother
okay,
pulled it away.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is definitely what lives on this planet, right? I mean, is the snake rapidly growing?
Which we were ignorant to pay attention to what her father had said, and it's completely true. Now that we see this.
So I have a lot of theories I want to get to, but I'm saving it for the bonus episode.
Hopefully.
Right here, we just want to finish this episode right here, and then we'll wrap it up. Now, Mother and Father get to the lander. Campion sees them, but they just go along with their mission. Father is bringing the lander down into the pit. Campion at the edge of the hole, at the edge of the pit, just shouting, "No, Mother!" And now they're just going further and further down the hole. They're going rapid speeds. We got fire developing on the sides of the ship now with how fast it's going, and Mother in back still having the snake suckle on her, but she seems to be going out of it, right? She's definitely losing herself.
I guess it'd be an easier way to say it is she's just kind of passing out.
Yeah. Holding tightly onto the snake now. Father seems to lose control of the ship. He's maybe losing consciousness too. They're hitting sides of the pit now. They're completely being whacked around in this pod. Father grabs Mother, brings her back up. They get hit again, and they go back down. But now he's holding her in his arms while they're going down to the pit. And now we finally see that these snake pits, I'm assuming they're snake pits, these snake pits go all the way to the center of the planet. We see the magma core as the lander is falling into it.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, it's just safe to assume that the heat of it, that's kind of why they're passing out as well, because you kind of see them showing that they're sweating and stuff.
Yeah, it would definitely be the heat, I think. And Mother is going through some memories of time together with Campion and the other kids.
Her
Happy
kids.
times.
Her kids, yeah.
Yeah, and their memories in kind of a glitchy kind of filter kind of stuff. Another different kind of filter, I want to point out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They seem to have a couple of these glitch filters, and the Father seems to be having the same memories. They're both smiling now, and Father saying Campion and the others will be fine without us. Will be all right without us. They will help each other, and Mother says, "Oh yes, Campion will lead them." Father, he was always destined for it. I don't know where they got that from. I don't know how Campion can lead anyone.
I mean, that's just them believing in their own kid.
Yeah. They're only first gen.
Now Mother saying goodbye to Father, and Father says goodbye, but it gets shut down halfway through it. And then Mother loses her smile, and I guess she's shut down now too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As the lander falls into the magma core. Now we cut away, and we see Marcus again, and he looks like shit. I gotta point out, he's still got all those veiny fucking shit going on his forehead, and he just looks like a madman with his wide eyes, and he's coming up on these people. He sees what looks like Paul, and so he comes up on him, touches his shoulder, and Paul turns around, and it becomes someone else, a soldier with a gun, pointing the gun at him. It's like, oh well, this can't be. He doesn't believe what he's seeing now, for once, right?
Yeah.
And now we got more soldiers coming in. It's like, oh, get on your knees, get on your knees. Now I want to point out that they are atheist soldiers because they have the face tattoos of the atheists.
Yeah, they have the same face tattoos that Caleb had before he became Marcus.
Yeah. And in an instant, showing Mark is still showing how good of a soldier he is. He gets the gun from the first guy that he sees, and he takes him down and shoots and kills the other 3 soldiers that came.
Yeah.
This is real fast too. Not letting us forget, like, wait, this motherfucker has skills.
Yeah.
Dude.
Even though he's half delirious or whatever the fuck's going through him.
Well, I
Still
wanted
got
to
it.
point that out, that the filter that they've used for him for like his visions and stuff,
This whole episode.
it's not there anymore.
Yeah, he's clear-minded now.
Yeah.
I want to point that out that at this point when I watched the first time, I had no idea that this was real, right?
Yeah.
We don't know what to fucking believe. But he takes an earwig from the soldier that he didn't kill, that he kept alive, and he puts it in his ear, and he's like, okay, who are you? It's like, oh, who is this? The voice is like, oh, well, I'm the king of this world. He tells the person over the earpiece that you're impure. Soul doesn't want you here. Heed my warning, or you will suffer his judgment. And the voice over the comm says, like, oh, well, we know your arc crashed. You're not exactly in a position to be making threats. At this point, I thought, damn, no, this is real. This is real, right?
Yeah.
That was a moment that, like, okay, I don't know what was going on earlier, but it seems like there are more atheists on this planet. And he says, like, okay, bye now. And he cuts off the transmission, and he gets on his knees, and he brings the other atheist soldier to his knees, like, okay, pray with me now.
Still showing that he's crazy as fuck.
Yeah.
Fanatic, right?
Yeah,
Religious fanatic.
Yeah.
Like, he's completely decided. Like, even though he sees that there are more atheists now, he's not willing to change his mind. Like, no, this is the truth. I am the king of this world, right?
I like that scene. Pans out. They're both on their knees. Obviously, Marcus is praying. I don't know about the atheist soldier, but it pans out and looks up, and we see
We see a giant airship coming overhead.
assuming this would be their arc.
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
the atheist arc, right? Crazy. Which gets into one of the theories that my boy Albert had earlier on. We'll get into the...
I will definitely get into that, Carlos. but-
Yeah, we'll get into that in the bonus.
Scene cuts.
Scene cuts, and now we see the magma core again, and the lander just spits itself out on the other side of the magma core, I guess.
I'll buy it. Really
No,
Scott.
I will not. This is fucking ridiculous.
I don't buy it either. I'm like, what the fuck? But whatever. Moving past it.
Oh my god.
Like
Now-
that was the point where they were like, "Hey guys, by the way, you are gonna get a season 2." Holy shit! You know what? Let's come out through the core.
No, and they need mother and father. They're title characters, right? Like they're
Yeah.
the main two that started
Yeah.
it. But now we see the lander still hitting the sides of this other pit now instead of just hitting the other side of the fucking wall, right? It found its way through another
Yeah.
hole.
This is-
another snake pit, and it's still going, and
I
it's
mean,
hitting.
I bought this whole show. This is the one scene
No.
that I'm struggling, but I'm buying it. Really,
No.
Aaron.
No.
Appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate it because the snake's not dead. I need to
Yeah.
know what the fuck's going on with the snake. I need to know if the snake is psychic.
This is my. I'll get into it in the fucking bonus episode, but
Same.
I do not like this scene at all. I do not appreciate it. No.
Okay, so they're struggling. It seems like the androids are waking back up, and they see the snake at the
Seat.
at the driver's seat. So I'm like, okay, is the snake the one that fucking brought the lander through the fucking hole and fucking whatever. Not worrying about that right now. The snake is a lot bigger.
Definitely a lot bigger.
And father wakes up and he brings mother up, and he seems to open the escape hatch and shoves mother out. Right, like she's gonna be fine. I'm sure she's a necromancer. She's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I'll tank the hit.
And then he looks back at the snake. The snake hisses at them in the only way it knows how, with its fucking weird ass mouth. You should look it up. It looks weird. I'm assuming you have seen the episode though, so you know what it looks like.
Yeah, you know what it looks like. It's just covered in sharp ass teeth.
Yeah, it's a weird fucking wide horizontal mouth, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, vertical mouth.
Like it's under the snake's head. It's not where. It's so weird.
If you've seen Dreamcatcher, it is those kind of snakes. And then father just, okay, bye, and he just dips out of the
Because,
lander.
I mean, if they could survive going through a core, they could obviously survive crash landing like that. They
Yeah.
could
I guess so.
throw themselves out.
But I'm like, they wouldn't assume that the snake would survive too. Whatever. The snake
Oh my
stays in the
God.
lander, at the driver's seat, and is like, oh, no, how to fly this thing, and it goes straight to the ground. Should have bought my
The snake does scream. Now, was it hissing or like, oh shit, where'd you push my mother off the
Yeah.
land thing?
or like, holy shit, why didn't I finish my snake course of flying?
Yeah, it was.
My snake course of flying human technology or whatever the fuck, because he knows how to fly.
Apparently.
Whatever. Okay, so now
Moving on.
we cut back to Campion, who's still staring down and crying at this pit where he saw mother and father go into. And the scene cuts again to later in the night. So we see Campion. He was there the whole night, just hoping that they would come back up. I guess, right? It's a pretty emotional scene. We see the actor for Campion just shouting
No.
with no audio. It's just I don't want to hear his shrill voice, anyways.
Yeah.
And we won't hear it again because now Campion's not sitting at the side of the hole anymore. Now he's on a rock next to the hole. And now we've got Hunter and the rest of the group back over here. I want to point out Hunter did not find Paul.
Yeah,
I'm
apparently.
sure we'll get into that in the second season. But everyone seems to be fine. Even Mary is clutching at her bullet wound.
Yeah, I mean, she looks weak, but
seems
she's
more
fine.
concerned for Campion.
Yeah.
Because everyone's looking at Campion, it's like, oh well, fuck.
I felt like this scene was a little bit rushed, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Because okay, cool. I understand Campion screaming at it, but it kind of makes it clear, I guess, that everyone's behind Campion. Because Campion turns around slowly.
And they're all looking at him.
Yeah, Hunter is looking at him. He nods his head at him. Holly, Tempest, exact same thing. And then it does the same thing with Sue. What? Like, is he okay? Cool, nodding their head? Or you?
Well, it's like mother and father said, like, oh, he'll be their leader, right?
Yeah, they kind of.
They have an adult, but Campion will be the leader. Okay.
I don't want to see that with the child. I want to see a time skip.
Here we go.
And well, we'll get into that.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll
The
get in-
time skip conversation.
The time skip conversation will happen in the bonus episode. Let's just finish this right now. It's almost done. Okay, then Campion walks over to them at a campfire and the scene cuts. Now on the other side of the planet where it's sunny now, we see the lander crash landed, right? And it seems to be kind of malfunctioning or whatever because it's crash landed. And now the windshield of it is cracking. It's just being destroyed. It completely shatters. And now we see the giant snake coming out of it. It's a lot bigger. It's larger than the trees surrounding it now.
Yeah, it's extremely long. It's not just big, like as in thick. It's giant. We're talking basilisk style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is definitely like the basilisk of Harry Potter, right?
Yeah.
And then we get a close up of his face, and then it slithers up to the sky. I'm assuming it's gonna just leave the planet, right, and go to space because it's a giant space psychic snake, a psychic giant space snake.
I'm still waiting to see some wolves.
The
Like, where were the wolves this whole time?
wolves were snakes the whole time.
Oh my
They were so full.
And I can't wait for season 2, Raised by Wolves, Raised by Snakes. Well, oh my god, just the finale of this thing with the fucking giant snake. What the fuck? What the fuck?
I am disappointed. I am disappointed.
I loved it.
I'm
Do
not
it.
gonna say I loved it. I really liked it though.
I liked the first half. Like I said, the last 13 minutes just went downhill for me. Like,
For that episode.
yeah. Like, I don't mind snakes being introduced, but not like this.
They weren't introduced.
No,
They were always a part of the thing.
No, yeah. But bring them back a different way. Not like this. Not like this. I'm super disappointed. They shoved down Mithraic and atheist things down our fucking throat for them to bring back snakes? Are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, be careful what you wish for, because throughout the whole episodes and all this shit, I was like, guys, and we all kind of agreed.
Wait,
you know what, we
yeah.
want to see the snakes? Because we did see giant holes, and we did want to know, I was like, oh man, is there giant worms down there? Are the now humans, devolved humans, where they were throwing something there to feed it?
Yeah.
Now we got our answer. I mean, apparently there were giant fucking snakes around that thing.
Well, we don't have all the answers, right?
No.
Not
They're,
yet.
I'm sure the snakes have something to do with the ritual
Definitely.
that Mother saw, and that's why Soul had Paul burn the cards. I'm sure the cards would have told Mother the whole story, right?
We'll get into it.
Yeah.
We'll get into it. I just want to say, just to wrap it up, I really liked it. I think I really liked it because I think they did have all the pieces laid out for us to figure it out, maybe.
Yeah.
But it took me by surprise, and I love that. I love when a show doesn't just...
It kind of points in one direction and just kind of left turns at the end. Like, holy
Well,
shit.
Well, yeah, because I didn't know what was going to happen with the baby, but I guess I could have come up with something. And then whatever I would have come up with was bullshit because...
Which
It was a
it
snake.
did happen. We fucking had so many theories.
Well, I mean, some of those theories weren't completely
Yeah.
shut down.
Yeah.
Some of those theories do.
Yeah, there's some
emphasize
here.
on it. So, guys, stay tuned for that in the bonus episode, of course.
anything else?
I mean, I want to thank everyone for sticking so far with us. We're in episode 10. If you're here, should appreciate you listening.
Thanks for listening, Jose.
Thank you, Jose. I guess thank you for listening to this episode. Go to our bonus episode to hear our thoughts, theories being shattered, and new theories coming up. Also, keep in mind we will be mentioning what we'll be doing next in the bonus episode. So thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, and
Don't forget about our sponsor, snakeoflegends.com. snakeoflegends.com.
soul.com. And catch you next time from the far side of the moon.